So, I just got out of seeing Star Trek Into Darkness. It was a birthday gift. I turned 20, and that's not important. So, Star Trek Into Darkness. The short review, I really like this movie. I It was a pretty good follow-up to the 2009 movie. If you haven't seen the original 2009 movie, then probably you should, cuz this movie kind of I'm not gonna say it requires you to watch the original, but it'd be good to understand, like it'd be good to watch the first one too, so you're not gonna get confused in this one. But overall, I think it was a pretty good movie. So if you're not interested in the minor details, you could stop the video right here. Um, Now, if you're still watching, the minor details, it was a good movie. It had its flaws, but I think the good outweighs the bad. So starting with the good, I think the performances this time were actually stronger. Like, what's his name? The guy who plays Kirk. I don't remember his name right now, but he was kind of out of place in the first one as Kirk. Like, I never really believed he was Kirk in the first movie, but here he's really just gotten comfortable with the role. Like you could tell he's having fun playing Kirk. Um, his performance was still I mean, I'm not gonna say passable. That's kind of mean, but let's just say he made a better Kirk in this movie than the other one, and everyone else did pretty good. I mean, everyone else, I guess I could say the same thing I said for Kirk. Like, everyone has slipped into their roles seamlessly now. Like, Carl Urban is now Bones, and Zoe Saldana is now Ahura. So I really don't know why I can't remember Kirk's name, actor's name, but the two standout actors of this movie, though, are Zachary Quinto and Benedict Cumberbatch, Spock and Khan, respectively. Well, Quinto was really good as Spock in the first movie, so he does good in this movie. So I can't really examine his role, but Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. I mean, it was kind of obvious that it was Khan. I mean, people were speculating that it was Khan. I thought he was Khan, and when they said they were not going to reveal who the villain of this movie was, they were trying to keep it secret. That kind of confirmed the fact that it was Khan, because that's the first villain that pops in your head. That was the first villain that popped in everyone's head when they were making the sequel. Oh, who should we bring from the original show? The first two that probably came to everyone's mind were Klingons and Khan. And oh, hey, guess what? Klingons are in this movie too. So for a while, they're not the main villain. But anyways, that's not important. So the acting was really good. The effects were good. I mean, it's it's effects, and the story was passable. I don't like the story as much as the first movie, but it was still a pretty entertaining story to watch through. And as a non-Trek, if you're a non-Trekkie, then you would like this movie. If you're even a part-time Trekkie like me, then you would actually like the nods to the show in this movie. I mean, there's the obvious nods what's his name? Chekhov is scared to put on a red shirt, or Bones McCoy says he's not a doctor. He's I'm not gonna say what he says. That I'm gonna keep it a surprise. And it's those minor nods that are pleasing to watch. But also there's some scenes that are just reminiscent of the original show. I probably shouldn't spoil this, but there's a big scene with Spock and Kirk, and it happens near the end, and I'm not gonna say it's ripped from the originals, but kind of ripped from the originals, but it's I guess the roles are reversed, or it's hard to explain. The roles are reversed, but it's still its own kind of scene. The context of the scene is still like unique on its own. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but there's a big scene near the end that's will please Trekkie fans, and the scene ends with a joke. I mean, maybe not a joke, but a really obvious reference to Star Trek to Wrath of Khan. Like, I probably spoiled what that was, but anyways, it's really hard to do this review without giving spoilers. So, anyways, so those are the positives of the movie. Like, acting was good, effects were good, story was good, and there were nods to the original Star Trek show Star Trek show and movies that are bound to please a Trekkie. Now, the negatives of this movie, I know I said the story was good, but the story was not, like, if you watch the 2009 Star Trek and then you watch this, like, it's obvious that they weren't taking as much of a risk with this one. They just wanted to play it a little bit more safe. Like, this is my main problem with Star Trek Into Darkness. Like, they wanted to play it safe this time around. Like Star Trek 2009, that was a huge risk. Like, they were going against the Star Trek formula. They were, like, rewriting the whole history. Like, they were just doing so many things, and it turned out fine. Like, a lot of people hated it, but it turned out fine for me. Here, they just wanted to make a sequel that was, like, safe, that didn't really piss people off, which is a fine move because of the controversy of the first movie, but I don't know, I guess I was just expecting more from this movie. I guess that's what this movie makes you do. Like, you just want more. Like most of the movie is a duel between two ships. So, and you kind of just want them to, like, move around the universe. So, it's not just story that you want more. It's like you want more of the scenery. You want them to explore more. But then again, I guess I could counter that by saying it was better for them to play it safe because, like, I guess, yeah, they don't want to piss more people off, and also I guess they just wanted to establish the characters more. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I guess maybe what I'm trying to say is they took all the risks they wanted to do in the first movie. Now they just kind of want to find their groove with this one. So maybe in the third movie they'll take another, like, they'll go for more risk, but this movie just feels like they're just trying to make a movie that will, like, solidify the franchise. Like, they took all the risk already. They just want to get this franchise going. So that's what this movie feels like. So overall, it's not bad. It's really good. I mean, it has its flaws, but it's enjoyable. So that's my review of Star Trek Into Darkness.